Hello, welcome to FiceFilm. Today, we will explain a romantic fantasy film called Beauty and the Beast. This video contains spoilers. Enjoy! The story begins in 18th century France, where there lived a handsome prince who cherished all things lovely. He had extravagant parties in a castle and was arrogant. The prince is given a single red rose by a hag who one day enters the castle. He mocks the ugly woman, not realizing he's being tested, and laughs at her. The hag reminds the prince not to be fooled by outward appearances. She then changes into a stunning enchantress. The enchantress curses the handsome prince to live as a monstrous and hideous beast due to his conceit and cruel vanity. All those who might have remembered otherwise forget about the castle and the people inside. The curse is symbolized by a single magic rose. Before the last petal falls, a woman must fall in love with the beast and reverse the curse. Everyone forgets about the magical castle hidden deep in the forest as time passes. A strange young woman named Belle, meanwhile, dwells in a nearby village called Villeneuve. Like her father, she enjoys reading and inventing. Additionally, readers are not particularly welcome in this traditional village. However, because Belle is attractive, Gaston, the village's most handsome brute, will stop at nothing to marry her and claim Belle as his own, even if it means attempting to kill her at one point in the movie. Moving on to the next scene, the father of Belle goes to a nearby town one day with his horse Philip, promising his daughter a rose on his return. Maurice is forced off course on the way back home by a mysterious snowstorm. He finds a strange castle while lost and enters it to take cover from the storm. Maurice flees in terror after the cute little teacup Chip starts talking to him, only to find a lovely garden of white roses. He pulls out just one after reflecting on his promise to Belle. The beast roars at Maurice in rage and locks him up for stealing. Gaston finds Belle and tries to court her again after telling her she shouldn't worry about children other than her own. Belle understands what he's saying and tells him flatly that she will never marry him. She expresses her desire to seek adventure and excitement outside of the village after scoffing at the prospect of being Gaston's wife. Philippe reappears a moment later, and Belle realizes that something bad must have happened to Maurice. In the forest, Belle searches for her father out of fear for his safety. She finds the castle and her father in a dungeon. Then, Belle meets the beast, who astounds her with his appearance. According to the beast, Maurice is a thief who must serve a life sentence in the dungeon. Despite Maurice's objections, Belle offers to take his place. The beast agrees to the deal and releases Maurice. Belle assures him that she will find a way out. Later on, Belle realizes he is not as vicious as she initially believes, and the beast is drawn to her by her intelligence and kindness. Despite her initial fear, Belle meets Lumiere and Cogsworth. Before the curse turned them both into candelabra and mantle clocks, Lumiere was the castle footman and Cogsworth was the castle major domo. Mrs. Spots, Chip's mother and kitchen stewardess, who has been transformed into a teapot, as well as Chip himself. Plumette, the maid and Lumiere's girlfriend, who has been transformed into a feather duster resembling a peacock. Madame de Garderobe, an Italian opera singer who has been transformed into a wardrobe, and Maestro Cadenza, Garderobe's husband and head musician who has been transformed into a harpsichord. Back in the village, Gaston and LeFou are in a tavern, lamenting Belle's rejection of him. LeFou, along with the other villagers, tries to cheer him up by praising the virtues of Gaston. Soon after, Maurice enters and begins raving about Beast and how he's imprisoned Belle. The other villagers laugh at his claims, but Gaston offers to accompany Maurice on his quest to find the beast, primarily to entice Belle to marry him. In the next scene, the beast tries to get Belle to join him for a dinner as he pounds on her bedroom door. Belle leaves her room and walks with the castle objects to the dining hall. Following that, Belle enters the West Wing, which Lumiere and Cogsworth had tried to keep hidden it from her. Belle discovers the rose encased in the jar there. The beast then terrorizes her and screams for her to leave. Belle flees the castle grounds, riding Philippe out. In the forest, the wolves then attack her, Belle fights them off until Beast appears and fights them for her. Belle tends to the Beast's wounds while he moans in pain. Mrs. Potts informed Belle that the Beast was not always this cruel. They know that after the prince's mother died, his father raised him to be the way he was before he was cursed because they have known him all his life. When Belle inquires about the rose, the objects say that if the last petal falls without the prince finding someone to love and be loved by, he will remain a beast forever, and that they will become inanimate. Back to Maurice's mission to find his daughter, he lets Gaston Le Faux through the forest in search of the path to the castle. When Gaston reveals his true intentions, which are to help Maurice in exchange for Belle's hand, he growls at Maurice and threatens to abandon him to the wolves. Maurice recognizes who Gaston is and declares that he will never allow Gaston to marry Belle. Gaston knocks Maurice unconscious and ties him to a tree, allowing the wolves to pursue him. This is too much for Le Faux, but he has no choice but to follow Gaston. Agathe, a local beggar woman, saves Maurice and tends to him. Maurice returns to Villeneuve and is sitting in a tavern when Gaston and Le Faux, both surprised, return to find him. Maurice informs the villagers that Gaston abandoned him in the forest to die. When Maurice names Le Faux as a witness, Gaston intimidates him into lying in order to cover his tracks. Gaston dismisses Maurice as a delusional lunatic. Belle and the Beast are now starting to open up with each other. He takes Belle to see his massive library, which he says is now hers. Over time, Belle grows fond of the Beast as he reveals his gentler and kinder side, and the objects notice it as well. Later, the Beast shows Belle an enchanted book that allows anyone to travel anywhere they want if they can visualize it. When Belle puts her hand in the book, they are transported to an old Parisian house. Maurice is seen in a flashback tending to his dying wife. She tells him to protect Belle, and the only thing she leaves behind is a glass rose, which Belle discovers. The Beast invites Belle to join him in a ballroom for a dance. Garderobe dresses Belle in a lovely gown, while Lumiere and the others attempt to groom the Beast properly. Cadenza plays a tune to accompany them as the two meet in the staircase and walk into the ballroom. Belle and the Beast perform a romantic dance together. Following that, the Beast wonders if Belle will be happy there, but Belle asks if anyone can be happy if they are not free. He realizes she misses her father and gives her the magic mirror so she can see him. When Belle notices the villagers harassing Maurice, she realizes he is in trouble. The Beast frees Belle so she can go help Maurice. As Belle rides away, the Beast climbs his tower in despair, knowing that he truly loves her. The castle objects are sad because they know Belle will not love him in exchange for the curse being broken. Gaston has Maurice committed to a mental institution managed by Moonsudak, but gives him one more chance to redeem himself if he gives Gaston his blessing to marry Belle. Maurice still refuses, so Gaston sends him away. Belle arrives in the nick of the time to stop the carriage from riding off. She shows the villagers the mirror to prove the Beast exists, which horrifies everyone. Gaston changes his tune and starts to gather the villagers to go after the Beast before he attempts to harm anyone else. Belle is then locked in a carriage with Maurice as Gaston leads the villagers to storm the castle. The castle object notice the villagers approaching the castle. They try to close the door, but the villagers begin to break it down. The castle objects, however, fight them off as best they can, and the villagers flee in terror. In the carriage, Belle reveals to Maurice the glass rose and that she knows what happened to her mother. Belle understands Maurice's claim that he only wanted to protect her. They escape the carriage and Belle rides Philippe back to the castle. Gaston climbs to the tower and discovers the Beast sitting sadly outside a window. He claims Belle sent him before shooting the Beast in the back, causing him to fall onto a lower roof. Belle then returned to the castle, reviving the Beast's spirit. He defends himself against Gaston, claiming that he is not a beast. He hangs Gaston from a ledge and begs for mercy, but he spares his life and orders him to leave. The Beast leaps to the next tower to be with Belle, only to be shot twice in the back by Gaston a moment later. Karma then pursues Gaston as the bridge he is standing on collapses, killing him. The Beast is mortally injured, but he has enough time to see Belle before dying. The final petal falls. The castle objects rejoice at their victory over the villagers, but the castle living objects revert to their normal state. Belle weeps over the Beast and declares her love for him. As Belle says this, Agatha walks into the room. Agatha reveals herself to be the enchantress in disguise, and she restores the rose to its original state, breaking the spell. The Beast then reverts to his human form. The two then share their first kiss. The darkness then lifts from the kingdom, and everything returns to normal. Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, Chip, Plumet, Cadenza, and Garderobe all awaken and return to their loved ones. Mrs. Potts reunites with her village husband, while Cogsworth reunites with his wife. The prince rushes to embrace his friends. All the residents of the castle, including Maurice and LeFou, join in celebration in the ballroom. Following a dance between Belle and the prince, everyone lived happily ever after.